Good morning and welcome to my Facebook Live this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Monday the 24th of August and this is Jenny McCormack from Gemini Crafts, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Brackley, which is a market town in the centre of the UK. So last week we focused on our Prized Peony stamp set, this one here, and it became my stamp set of the week, I've decided. And I haven't finished doing everything with it, so I decided I'm just going to carry it on for a couple of days, and so I can get the most out of it, because I'd hate people to miss out. So today we're going to do a little bit of background stamping and also some die cutting. So let us get cracking. I hope everybody is well. So here is the stamp set. Let me just show you what we did last week if you weren't able to join us. I'll just flick through these very quickly. So I've got this one here where we've used the matching papers and a little bit of stamping. This one was with the matching papers and just colouring in some of the peonies. This was using the die cuts, so stamping and die cutting and colouring in with a blends pen with a little bit of vellum here and a bit of a background wash. This was the same thing, but I used one of the new embossing folders behind there for a little bit of added texture. And then we had a couple of these where we're colouring in the background rather than the actual flowers. And then our final one, which was Thursday of last week, was the 3D flower, which is tucked in there, and again using can you see that might be my favourite current embossing folder. So those were last week's one. You can watch all of those on catch up. And let's have a look, see. So today we're going to recreate something similar to this. I've actually changed it up from this particular version, but we're going to stamp on the background with I'm actually going to try it with two stamps. So one I'm going to do with the small peony and one I'm going to do with the middle-sized peony, so we can see which one we like best. I'm then going to stamp this stamp and use the die cut to cut it out, and then colouring these in with our blends pen, and then just using a little die cut for the sentiment. And this "Sent with Love" comes from Itty Bitty Greetings. I just thought it fitted in there really nicely. So let's get cracking with our backgrounds. So I'm actually going to stamp on a layer and then layer that up rather than stamp straight onto the back, just for a little bit more interest. And it says there's people watching, but it hasn't come up with any names, so I can see it on my other screen for some bizarre reason. So hi Jacqueline, Babsy, Molly, Carol, Jeanette and Linda. I'm wondering if I'm viewing it somewhere else, that's why. Okay, so let's do the background. So this one I'm going to do the small peonies, and I've got Smoky Slate that I'm going to use. This is a very old ink pad. Don't know why I picked this one up, but hey ho. So I'm just going to start slightly off center like that. And then what you want to do is have any 3 flowers equidistant from each other. Okay, so it's back to our rule of 3, and then if we add another one in, you want that one to be equidistant, etc, etc. Now you can turn these right the way round, or you can keep them in the same alignment. It's entirely up to you. On my first one here, I turn them all around. This one I'm doing them roughly in the same alignment, just sort of manoeuvring them slightly. So because I've got just a little gap on each side, I'm just going to fill those in, and the little one on this top corner, like so. So that gives you a really nice even background. So remember, try and keep them equidistant between any 3 as you look at them. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to do the background to my other one, which is going to be Seaside Spray. So let me swap that out. Morning, Carol with an E. Morning, Jill. Let me swap that ink out. Now obviously you could do a darker background colour of ink if you wanted to. I quite like this tone on tone effect. Okay, it's very sort of neutral. So this is Seaside Spray, and I realise I used Seaside Spray and Petal Pink quite a lot last week, so I do apologise. Okay, just checking that was clean. So this is the medium sized peony. It really is pretty. Okay, because these are larger, I know I'm not going to get so many on my sheet, like so. I'm going to sort of change the angle a little bit though, like so, and again just bring a little bit in. Even it's literally just the tiniest bit, it will make a difference, because you want it to look like it disappears off, you know, like you've cut a piece of fabric and that's just the portion that you can see. That's what the effect you want. If you try and sort of place it inside, it looks very unnatural, because it's unlikely, if you had fabric that was all over like this, that it would actually fall all inside when you cut the layers. So think of a piece of fabric when you're doing that. Hi Tracy. So I'm definitely watching it on my other screen, on another Facebook page. So I'm just going to hop back so I can see your comments. I do apologise, and that's because I have some different Facebook pages, and I've obviously started it in the wrong place. That's better. I can see everybody's comments now without having to scroll around. So this is my background. So I've done white. This is Smoky Slate for a change, and then this is Seaside Spray, as you can see. So those are going to be my backgrounds. Let me move those ink pens out of the way for a moment. And they are in turn are going to be layered onto white, and then onto blue, and onto white, and onto Smoky Slate. So I've stepped it up from this one here. Okay, just giving that extra layer to sort of break it and blend it in together. So I'm going to pop those aside for the moment. What I'm going to do now is stamp the large peony and do some colouring in and some die cutting. And I think, can't quite decide whether to do my second one in Seaside spray or Smoky Slate. So pretty. It's one of those stamp sets that, as I think I said before, that stamp does all the work for you. Put this one up here. And then I might try, I can get one in down there, yes. Might try one in the blue. Oh, hi Deborah. Hi Marion. So let me just stamp one in the blue and then we can decide. Well, I might let you decide which one you think would look best. So we're using Prized Peony, Deborah. So just going to take this onto the large peony stamp. So light tapping. I'm going to pop this one in here. Let's find that it will go in there, hopefully. I know there's a little bit of an edge on the die cut, so this might be a bit close, but I can use this one and this one if needs be. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to do the grey granite one first, and I'm going to do Surprise Surprise Petal Pink, and then I've got Soft Sea Foam for the green, because I don't want the leaves to overpower the beautiful peony here. So I'm going to do this one, and this is a really easy one to colour in. Now I've used our Smoky Slate, so you can use our standard Stampin' Up inks with your blends pens. Just make sure if they're very inky that you give them time to dry out. So this is light Petal Pink. I'm just doing a little bit of scribbling over. I noticed a lot of peonies are very light, you know, much lighter than this almost, like so. Let's do that edge there. So I hope everybody can see that. Oh good, I'm glad you've got that one, Deborah. It's so pretty, isn't it? I'm going to use the darker one. So there's another 4 videos, Deborah, from last week using this stamp set, Monday to Thursday. So you can either pop back and look at it on Facebook, or you can find it on YouTube, whichever you prefer. So a little bit of depth here. You don't need to do much shading because most of the shading has already been done for you. Now I can't quite decide. I think this is a little a leaf. I think, as those are. So just going over some of that join. Literally, you'll have my scribble. This is my way to colour. And then I'm going to use dark soft sea foam for the leaves. As I say, I don't want the leaves to overpower the peony. So while I'm doing this, do tell me about your weekend, ladies, and what you've got up to. Whether you are crafting or visiting people, whether you've been away on holiday, do tell. Now I might just leave this one like that. We're going to have a look and see. Now, one of the things that will happen is when I die cut this, which I'm going to do with our new die cutting machine, it will leave a white border around the edge. Okay, so you can leave it like that, or what I've done on this one is use my Smoky Slate pen just to go around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to do this one without, and then you can see the difference, and then you can decide. And I'm going to just try leaving that completely uncoloured. That wasn't my original plan, but I'm thinking with that blue it might look quite nice. So let me just grab my die cutting machine. Let me have a... I hope everybody's got a cup of coffee in their hand, or a cup of tea or something. Trying to grab mine before it goes cold. Okay, so we'll take those out. Let me bring in the die cutting machine. Now I appreciate that is rather in your way, but hopefully enough for you to see what I'm doing. So I've got my base plate and my cutting plate. I'm going to pop this on. I'm going to cut this one first. So I'm just lining that up, and it's really easy with our new dies because you literally line it up on the edge of the stamp itself. Pop the top cutting plate on and then wind it through. Now, whether it's because my big shots were very old, but I do find this one much easier to wind through. Okay, so can you see what a great result you get from that? So nicely evenly spaced all the way around. Going to do the same with my coloured in one. And what I do like about this is there's a bit of space either side, so if you haven't got it quite straight, it doesn't actually matter. So just lining that up again, plate on the top. Okay, and obviously I've got that not in the best view from your point of view, so I do apologise because it will be in the shadow. Let me bring that out of the way. Oh, I'll put it on the counter. Here we go. So have a look and see what you think. Let's compare this one with this layer to start with. So can you see this has got white all the way around it, and this one has got the grey. So I don't know which one you prefer out of those. I like them both really, for different reasons. Oh, morning Vivian, and morning Moretta. So Deborah, if you're normally at work, are you on holiday this week? I wonder. Right, let me do the stamping of the sentiments. Now I've got a choice here. This is the Petal pink, but I think I'm preferring the white. And so I'm going to use the same sentiment, sent with love. It's a nice little sentiment, and it does so many different things. You know, it could be whether it's birthday or a thinking of you, a thank you, could be absolutely anything. So I'm just going to stamp there. like so. That one is with Smoky Slate, and then I'll do one in white, on the white, in my Seaside spray. Just going to stamp this off a little bit. With the grey edges, says Marion. Carol says the white edges. Babsy likes both. So we're even Stevens at the minute. To all. Looking at the photo that I can see here, this is actually quite bright, so you're not getting, well, certainly on my screen anyway, a good look at the colour. Right. Okay, let's leave that one for a minute while everybody's deciding, see if anybody else comes up with anything else. I've got one for white, one for grey, and one for both, either, I should say. So let's do this one in the meantime. So I decided just to stamp it single colour, no colouring in, because actually that's quite effective. It reminds me very much of what I want to say, like a French, I can't think of the name. I'm going to pop that onto there. And I just realised I left my seal in the other room. Let me see if I can find, I'll use some tape as it's here. So I'll just use my tear and tape. So this is just going on the back of my piece, and you don't have to do, you know, literally edge to edge. This is very strong tape. I do like the fact you can tear it, you don't need a pair of scissors to cut it. Okay, and a trick I'm sure most of you will know is just lift up a portion of the backing of the tape. So if you put it down and it's not straight, you've only got a small portion attached to the card, like so. So just fold it back a little bit from each one. This is my white card it's going to go on to. Just make sure there's no blemishes on the edges. I'm going to position that over the centre with my finger underneath it, and then relax my finger on the left hand side and the right. Push that down and then just pull the backing away. I'm sure that's nothing new to anybody. There we go. Ah, that's the one, Toile de Jour. Thank you. Or toile, yes. Moretta says grey. Okay. Right, let's layer that onto this one here. I mean, that in its own right, to be honest, would be a really nice effective card. So you could stamp all the way over an A4 and create 4 cards very easily. Just do the same with this one. So I'm going to keep these flat. I'm going to put the items up with dimensionals though. Give it a little bit of interest. And obviously if you wanted to, you could add some ribbon. We do have our matching Seaside spray ribbon. So just popping those on there. Sorry, it's a bit slower than using my seal tape runner. So same thing, just fold them back. sure I've got this the right way round, and obviously my card opening the right way. Like so. Voila. Okay, so I'm literally just going to pop that up with dimensionals and leave it as is, I think, because I like that blue and white. Blue and white always goes well together. So I'm just popping my larger dimensionals around that area, and then where I've got some edges of dimensionals, I'm going to pop them on here, here, and maybe a little one at the bottom. So I'm just going to cut these edges up. Waste not, want not. You could also use our small dimensionals in the same way. Really just want enough to support it. There we go. So that's on the back of my cutout peony. My thumb attached to it. Like so, and then my seven love is going at the bottom. Yes, do you know, it's funny, Jill, because I always think about you when I use tape, because I know Jill uses tape as her preferred adhesive method. And before lockdown, I would see Jill every Monday at our coffee and card, and she nearly always uses tape. So there's my first one. Okay, so what was the verdict on this? Should I do this grey? I've got 3 to 2 really, so I will do it grey. Let me bring my piece of paper back. Now what I would say is, if you're doing this from scratch, it's a lot easier, oh, sun's come out, to do the grey usually before I die cut it. Okay, so it's slightly different today because I wanted your lovely lady's opinion, and I'll just show you why. So what you can do before you die cut is literally just, and you don't have to worry about where it goes because you know that's going to be die cut out, like so. So this is light smoky slate, and also you could use, I would use the backing colour. So if I was doing this one, I would have done it in the blue, but because I didn't colour it in, I didn't think it needed. So basically you're just literally going to whiz around like that, okay, and then die cut it, and you'll get this effect. So it's just slightly more tricky, only because, oh, I don't know what it would be really. It just feels more, you've got a smaller area to cover, but I suppose this way you can see which bits you might not want to cover, if that makes any sense. So can you see that's going around, and this will lighten up slightly as well. Just using the edge against the leaf there. Similarly here. Keep turning it so you've got it at the best angle. I'm right-handed. Tractor's going up and down. Sorry, I'm concentrating. So feel free to chatter. I can't watch the screen and do this, I'm afraid. But feel free to natter amongst yourselves. So for those of you that haven't got Prized Peony, then if you're a customer of mine, I'm offering it with free papers this week, because it's my stamp set of the week extended. So if you buy the stamp set itself, you'll get 6 of the matching papers ready for card bases. And then if you buy the stamps and the die cuts, then you'll get 6 matching papers, 6 cards and 6 envelopes. Go, do that little bit in there. I suppose this feels more fiddly because you're doing sort of 2 bits, whereas when it's all in together you do 1. I don't know. Probably absolutely nothing to do with it. Probably completely psychological on my part. Okay, I think I've got everything there. I am just going to run my pen just around the edges as well. Make sure they're not showing too much white. Luckily the blend pen does tend to soak in around the edges, so makes that bit easier. Okay, let's have a look-see. Yeah, that's true. Hi Claire. Hi Verity. Alright, thanks Deborah. Oh, Martha's a tape person too. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Okay. Right, let's move this out of the way and sort this out. So I'm going to do the same. Actually, this could be Petal Pink layer behind, couldn't it? If I wanted to. Let me have a quick look, see if I have some. I have a scrap piece here to hide, to hand. Let's see if you think this would look better. Yeah, I think it does, because then I've got the 3. No, I've got, well, 1, 2, 3, I suppose. Could add some bling as well. So let's do that instead of the white layer. We've got lovely sunshine here today, and I'm glad to report that that storm that was hovering around last weekend seems to have made its way away. So I'm cutting this 10 centimetres, which is half a centimetre smaller than my card base, and 14.35, and then it's half a centimetre bigger than my base stamped card here. So I should have got an even surround all the way like that. So exactly the same. Sorry, this bit is a little bit boring. Okay, thanks Claire, appreciate you joining us. I know Monday morning is a busy time for lots of people. Two, three, like so. Just about to say I could stamp the background, but you're not going to see that. So what you could do, if you wanted to save some card, is obviously this middle panel here is not going to be seen. So you could grab a large rectangular die and cut out the centre of that panel if you wanted to. Just to save you some card. There we go. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So while I'm doing this, what's everybody up to this week? Anybody got any plans? Loretta, I'm wondering whether you'll be back at school when school opens. Is that 2 weeks' time or 1 week's time? I might add a little bit of bling to that whole thing. So do you like the larger flowers for the background, I wonder? Or the smaller ones? I think you see more of the smaller ones, obviously. The larger one. There we go. Right, quick throw these dimensionals on and I'll just grab some bling. There's a little piece here. Cutting this edge, so do use all the edges. That will do. Oh gosh, Marion, you will be busy. You just says larger ones. Oh, you're back next Tuesday. Oh gosh, Loretta, that's going to come as a shock, isn't it? I wonder if you're feeling quite nervous about that, just in terms of COVID as much as anything. And of course you could do here with a larger sentiment if you wished. Just going to keep mine the same. Just move that up there. I definitely prefer this to this one here. Just adds a little bit more detail having the layer. Oh, bless you. Busy, busy. Everybody's so busy suddenly. I've really noticed the change in, you know, people's activities, whether it's because they're going back to work or because more things are open and things to be done. I don't know. Right, let's find a little bit of bling. So the perfect one for our petal pink is these elegant faceted gems, because they have the petal pink, the clear and the white. And in fact, I think the white would look nice with the blue, although I have got the new blue ones, or I could use plain, but I think blue and white, the white would work quite nicely. So these come in 2 different sizes and they're faceted. Not sure whether you can see that in this light, it's quite difficult. So I'm going to do 3 large ones, I think, mainly because I'm running short of little ones. Need to order some more. 1, 2, 3, like that. And then, yeah, let's try these. Super sparkly. I might try a mixture of sizes on this one. 2 and 3. Not to feel left out. I'm just going to put some clear ones on this one. Then I've got a bit of everything, haven't I? 2, 3. Very similar positions, aren't they? So those are called elegant faceted gems. There we go. So that is it for this morning's live. Let me take that one out of the way because I didn't actually make that one per se. Oh gosh. Oh, hi Brenda, thanks for joining us. Oh, you're just working on 3 projects. Oh my goodness. So those are our finished card designs. So there's this one here on the right hand side, done in Smoky, Slate and Petal Pink, and using the small flower and obviously the large peony. This one here, Seaside spray for the ink, the paper and the background, obviously, onto Seaside spray card. And then I've used the elegant faceted gems for a little bit of interest. So those are all from our Prized Peony stamp set, which I've just hidden under here, underneath my trimmer. So there we go. That's stamp set there. So tomorrow I will be doing a one sheet wonder. I'm going to do 2 actually. So one I'm going to do in all blue and white for like a toile du jour, exactly as who was it that came up with that one? Oh, thanks Babsy, thanks Jeanette. It was, who was it? Oh, it was Deborah, wasn't it? She came up with that corrected name. So I'm going to do one in blue and white, and then I'm going to do a coloured one. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to colour in the individual flowers. I'm going to use a stamp to colour them in. So if you're free tomorrow afternoon, so that's Tuesday, the 25th, yep, 25th of August, we'll be here at 3 p.m. Obviously you can catch me later on the replay or on YouTube. So thanks so much for joining me. Full details of the products I've used will be added to this post, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube as well. So very straightforward colouring in fact no colouring in on this one. So a nice quick way to make a set of cards with not too much effort. Thanks very much indeed. I hope you all enjoy a lovely day. Get some sunshine if you can. We've got sun here. I think we're all a bit lacking in vitamin D, so you know, get out, just take a walk, or just go and sit outside. If you haven't got a garden, you know, go and find a bench somewhere, hopefully, and just sit and take time to listen to the birds and everything. It's so good for us. Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate you joining me live. It's always nice to have people interacting. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care, look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, stay safe and keep crafting. Thank you, bye bye.